Dark Northwest is a horror-themed audio drama that includes mature content. For a complete list of content warnings, please see the episode description. This podcast is a work of fiction inspired by reported paranormal events. While we may reference real locations and historical figures, all characters, dialogue, and storylines are fictionalized for entertainment purposes. These portrayals should not be interpreted as factual accounts. Any other resemblances to actual persons, living or dead, or to real places or events is purely coincidental. The creators make no claims regarding the accuracy of the events portrayed. Listener discretion is advised. You are listening to Tales of the Dark Northwest, created by Kirsten Fay and Ron Leota, starring Cassandra Schwartz, Arden, and Ron Leota, narrated by Alex Gardapi, music by Aaron Edens. Dr. Tanner walked to the old oak door in her office to welcome her next patient. Her hand on the brass doorknob, she paused and took a deep breath, a ritual she'd repeated before every session. She rented the office space in the 100-year-old building in downtown Enumclaw for her private therapy practice shortly after obtaining her doctorate in psychology, and had been there ever since. She looked out into the waiting room and saw an unfamiliar man in a black two-piece suit and tie sitting in the corner with perfect posture.
Mr. Brown?
The man nodded and approached the doctor, extending his hand for a firm handshake.
Dr. Tanner, a pleasure to meet you.
Come in, and we'll get started.
Mr. Brown followed the doctor and took note of the room. It was plain, with an antique desk and a small built-in bookshelf. Certifications hung proudly on the wall, and patients had the option of either a comfortable leather chair or a daybed. Mr. Brown chose the chair and sat, making immediate eye contact with the doctor.
Do you prefer Mr. Brown or Arthur?
Mr. Brown will be fine.
All right, Mr. Brown. Let's get right to it. What made you decide to come to therapy?
I'm not here for therapy.
Then what brings you here today?
I'm here about one of your patients.
Dr. Tanner shifted uncomfortably in her seat. Mr. Brown watched carefully, noting her discomfort.
That's highly unusual. Anything discussed in therapy is confidential. I'm not able to share anything about my patients.
Are you familiar with Section 215 of the Patriot Act?
The man reached into his coat pocket and produced a badge. It read Special Operations Division with FBI in bold print. Beneath the picture was his name and title, Special Agent Arthur Brown.
If you're law enforcement, why the pageantry? Why make a therapy appointment?
I like to meet people as they really are. So, are you familiar with Section 215 of the Patriot Act?
Not specifically, but I'm sure it means that I am compelled to answer your questions.
Wonderful. I'd like to know about your patient, Nathan Summers.
Nathan? He's just a teenager. What did he do that would warrant a visit from the FBI?
He's 19, legally an adult. Regardless, it's my understanding that Nathan started seeing you a few months ago. I'd like to know what for.
Shouldn't you have some kind of warrant?
Of course. We should certainly keep this above board.
Agent Brown pulled a neatly folded piece of paper from his coat pocket and slid it across the desk. He watched carefully as Dr. Tanner's hand slightly trembled as she took the paper and closely examined it.
There's no need to be nervous, Dr. Tanner. I can assure you that you aren't in any trouble. I just need some information on Nathan, and I will be on my way.
The doctor set the paper down and folded it, making sure to trace the exact line of the original fold twice before sliding the paper back.
Yes. Nathan came to me a few months ago. I've been seeing him twice a week. He suffers from nightmares and has a lot of trouble sleeping. This has led to some severe side effects.
What kind of side effects?
Pretty standard things. Impaired cognitive function, difficulty with social interactions, short temper, and memory loss. With his consent, I've been recording some of our sessions for him to review.
That's not exactly standard practice.
For patients who suffer memory loss, it's sometimes beneficial to review what happened in sessions to help combat the forgetting curve and to recall action steps and coping strategies.
Do you have copies of the sessions?
Yes, on my laptop. Nathan has a tendency to lose track of them, but I'm not sure I'm comfortable with sharing those. It's deeply private.
I completely understand, Dr. Tanner. That instinct to protect your patients is what makes you a good therapist. Your reputation is sterling.
Dr. Tanner shifted again, tapping her index finger twice on the arm of her office chair.
You looked into my career?
It's my job to know the fine details of my cases. How long have you suffered from obsessive-compulsive disorder?
Since I was a child. Did you think asking about it would catch me off guard? Next, I suppose you will bring up my family or some sordid detail from my past.
Dr. Tanner smiled. This angered the agent, though he stared at her stone-faced before replying.
Was there an instigating event that caused Nathan's nightmares? Some trauma?
Yes. He had a strange encounter when he was hiking on Mount Rainier. We talked about it at length during one of his early sessions, but it was upsetting to him.
I'd like to hear that recording.
I'd like to state for the record that I am completely uncomfortable with this.
Your discomfort is noted, Dr. Tanner. The recording.
I think I'd like legal
Before you finish that sentence, I'd like for you to understand the gravity of the situation that you're in.
I know my rights.
I imagine that you believe you do. But there will be no other witnesses to our conversation. What happens next will determine whether you walk out of this room and in what condition.
Are you threatening me?
Most certainly. I don't want to hurt you. I'm not some barbarian. But when it comes to matters of national security, I am empowered to use whatever methods I deem necessary to efficiently conduct my investigation. Have you ever broken a rib before, Doctor?
Dr. Tanner began to sweat, struggling not to show any additional signs of fear.
I can't say that I have.
Agent Brown methodically took out black leather gloves from his pants pocket and slid them onto his hands.
It's extremely painful. Every moment is pain. Every breath is agony. This will persist for weeks, and I can do far worse than that.
You're bluffing.
I want you to give me a good look. Look into my eyes, examine my face, read my body language, and reconsider your assessment.
Dr. Tanner examined the agent. His face was frozen, still masking his rage. He stared intensely at her body, calculating how he would make his attack. His breathing was eerily steady, well-trained and preparing for a quick movement. He wasn't bluffing.
You monster!
There's no need for name-calling. Now, will you cooperate? Or should we make your situation far more unpleasant?
I'll do it. Just give me a moment to pull up the file.
Take your time.
Dr. Tanner nervously searched her files for the backups of her sessions with Nathan. She carefully double-clicked the folder, closing it several times until the taps felt correctly timed. She turned up the speakers on her laptop and turned it so the agent could hear.
How have you been, Nathan?
About the same. The nightmares aren't getting any better. I've been keeping the journals you asked for and trying to write the dreams in a more positive light, but I'm just not finding a lot of positive things to say.
I understand. Image rehearsal therapy takes time and requires small, thoughtful steps. Are you ready to tell me about how the dreams started?
I don't know. It's really hard to talk about.
I understand. But sharing these things in therapy can help you feel like you aren't carrying the weight alone.
You aren't going to believe me.
This is a judgment-free zone, Nathan. What matters is that your feelings are very real. I want to help you navigate them.
Okay. I was hiking the Crystal Lakes Trail just before dark. I wanted to take some pictures of the stars from up on the ridge and then hike down in the morning. It was the perfect night for it.
It's okay. Take your time.
I was setting up my tripod and all my camera gear as the sun was setting.
How did that make you feel?
Good, I guess. It was like the calm before a storm. I remember being really excited because there wasn't a cloud in the sky.
Maybe that is a memory you could focus on.
No! If it wasn't clear then, I wouldn't have been there.
It's okay, Nathan.
It's not okay. Nothing is fucking okay. I told you I didn't want to talk about this.
Remember your breathing exercises. Breathe with me. In and out. Would you like to stop?
I've already dredged this up and I don't want to have to do it again. Night came. The sky was amazing. I got a lot of good shots, some of my best work. I was taking the last few photos in the series and then I saw it.
What did you see?
A light moving across the sky. It would dart from one side to the other and then just stop. It was too fast to be a helicopter or plane. I started taking pictures. I didn't know what I was seeing. Then it got closer. It came for me. Small at first, but then bigger. As it got closer, the light was blinding. It was like a white-hot fire in the sky. I didn't know what to do. I wanted to run, but I just kept pushing the shutter button. Then I felt it.
What did you feel?
As the light surrounded me, it was cold, but it also burned. Like freezing iron on every inch of my skin. Every muscle in my body tensed. I wasn't in control. It hurt, Dr. Tanner. It hurt like nothing I've ever felt before. I felt my feet leave the ground. I thought I was gonna die. I remember clenching my jaw so hard that I could taste blood, and then I blacked out. I think I came to several times, but I wasn't in the woods. I remember steel walls, bright lights, eyes. Big, emotionless, black eyes, pain. I was in so much pain, worse than the burning. Oh God, it was so much worse.
You obviously experienced something very traumatic on that mountain.
It was worse than you could ever imagine. The next thing I remember, I was back on the ridge. The light was still there, but I was in control again. I could hear the sound of a helicopter off in the distance. Something else was coming. Someone knew about those things in the sky. I grabbed my camera and left the rest of my gear. It was still dark when I started running. I don't know where I was going, but I had to get away from the light and whoever else was coming for me. The sun started coming up and I followed the trail. The worst part is, it was the beginning of the night when it happened. I was out there for hours. Hours. I don't know what they did to me, but I can't get the flashes out of my head. I wake up screaming, feeling that pain. A deep pain like every nerve ending is on fire.
It's okay. I'm here. Remember your breathing exercises.
Breathing isn't gonna fucking fix me. I can't do this. I can't.
Nathan! He left at that point. We didn't talk about the incident again. Just the dreams and how we could help him get past the trauma. I wanted to help him. He was self-isolating from his family after most of his friends had stopped talking to him.
Are there any other copies of this recording?
No, I didn't give this session to Nathan. Reliving this experience wouldn't help him.
No backups on the cloud?
No.
Did Nathan mention anything else strange about the incident, or in his nightmares?
In his later sessions, he said the dreams were changing. I thought it was a good sign, but he said he started seeing strange patterns at the end of the visions.
Did he ever draw these patterns for you, or describe them in detail?
No, they were confusing to him. And with the fatigue and memory loss, he couldn't hold on to any of the details.
Agent Brown paused and abruptly stood up, walking to the other side of the desk. Dr. Tanner's knee was nervously bouncing as he approached. Without a word, he reached down and unplugged the laptop and tucked it under his arm. Dr. Tanner sat stunned.
That will be all.
What do you mean? You're taking my laptop. That has sensitive files on it for my other patients.
We will ensure your laptop is returned once our investigation is complete and all sensitive data pertinent to this case has been secured. We appreciate your cooperation and discretion, Dr. Tanner. One more thing, Doctor. There's a scenario where we might meet again, and that's if you utter a single word of this case to anyone. I can assure you, it's in your absolute best interest that you never see me again.
Agent Brown left the office and headed to the street, leaving Dr. Tanner alone and racked with fear and guilt. She began a grounding exercise, counting 5 things she could see, 4 things she could feel, 3 things she could hear, 2 things she could smell, and then 1 thing she could taste, working to bring herself back to the present moment. Once back in his car, the agent pulled out his cell phone and made a call, with a concerned expression on his face.
What did you find?
We have a possible code gray. There's a complication. The boy may have photos of the incident.
What about the doctor?
I don't think the doctor will be a problem, but standard surveillance protocols should be followed. What if it turns out the boy did get pictures?
Then you take care of it.
Understood. Scrub and neutralize. I suggest we have a cleaning team and our pathologist on standby. We need to confirm if anything was implanted. We don't want another Maury Island incident. Greetings, Darklings! Thank you for listening to Episode 5 of Tales of the Dark Northwest. Thank you to all our patrons who helped make this episode possible. We want to give a big shout out to our Acolytes of the Dark on Patreon, JP, Alicia, Greg, and Carissa. An extra special thank you goes to our Heroes of the Dark, Shanzan, whose last communication on the mountain was this Patreon sub, Rainbow, who wants to welcome any friends of DeSoto that came to listen from our Jumbotron on the Greatest Trek podcast, the ever-mysterious Sloth, Ron's old adventuring buddy, Mr. Bond, and Zachary Smith, who paid me to say he's my personal favorite. If you'd like to support this independent production and get access to bonus content, visit patreon.com/darknwpodcast. For more information, check out darknw.com. Join us next month for Episode 6 of Tales of the Dark Northwest.